According to Peter Moon and Preston Nichols, in their book The Montauk Project, a large consignment of stolen gold was smuggled into Long Island, during the end of World War II, on board a Nazi submarine, and it was hidden in a network of caves located beneath Montauk Point. One local legend relates to the existence of the Montauk Catacombs, which are claimed to be run from the eastern part of Montauk Town and runs all of the way to Montauk Point. In this old air photo dating back to World War II, it shows a quarry located on the right of the picture, and this quarry is now known as the Captain Kidd's Money Pit or Pond, which is now filled with water. This pond gets its name from the notorious 17th-century pirate Captain Kidd, where it's claimed he buried treasure in this pit. It's claimed the Montauk Catacombs extend for miles underground, and these tunnels may expand outwards, all the way into the town of Montauk. One local legend claims the tunnels were dug out during the Prohibition from 1920 to 1933. These tunnels may have been dug out by the biggest landowner in Montauk, Carl Fisher. In 1912, the American entrepreneur Carl G. Fisher made his name for himself by turning the small town of Miami Beach into a summer playground for the wealthy, and during his time in Florida, he made money by selling bootlegged alcohol. In the mid-1920s, Fisher purchased the entire peninsula of Montauk, consisting of some 10,000 acres, 40 square kilometers, for only $2.5 million, and he had big plans of turning this land into a major resort for New York's wealthy elite, so he may have used the tunnels to hide and transport bootlegged alcohol to semi-secret speakeasies operating in Montauk during the Prohibition years. In 1925, Fisher employed some 800 men to build restaurants, a racetrack, polo field, a yacht club, a swimming club, indoor tennis courts, gambling casino, and a boardwalk, and some of these men may have opened up underground quarries to remove the much-needed stone to construct these buildings, and this led to the formation of the Montauk Catacombs. Fisher is also responsible for building Montauk Manor, which is also claimed to house bricked-up entranceways located in the basement of this large impressive building, which originally served as a hotel. During the World War II, it served as lodgings for United States Navy personnel. Carl Fisher also built the Montauk Tower, which is a major landmark in the town of Montauk. Local legends suggest there is a secret entranceway leading into the Montauk Catacombs, located beneath the ground, and these tunnels extend all the way out to Montauk Point. The original town of Montauk was located up by the railway station, but during the 1930s and 1940s, the town was repeatedly flooded, so the United States Navy moved the town south, to its current location. The United States Navy established a naval air station at Montauk in August 1917, and this air station could be the present-day Montauk Airport. By studying some old maps, the United States Navy also set up a port hospital close to Montauk Point, which was demolished after war ended. Also, this naval air station may have been used to fly in personnel to Camp Hero at Montauk Point during World War II. After the death of Carl Fisher, the United States military purchased the land, from the Fisher's estate, and the U.S. military may have taken over the use of these underground tunnels and quarries, and the area around Montauk Point was renamed Camp Hero. Camp Hero was built and opened in 1942, as part of the coastal defense network guarding American shores against attack by Nazi Germany during World War II. About 600 men and 37 officers was stationed at Camp Hero, who mainly manned anti-aircraft guns and observation posts. A number of large batteries were constructed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The United States Army was based in the southern part of Montauk Point, and the United States Navy were based in the northern part, where they operated a number of radio stations and a gunnery range. The U.S. Army constructed a large number of buildings, and to fool any German U-boats or aircraft, the camp was built to resemble a small fishing village. The U.S. Army built barracks, officers' quarters, offices, and recreation buildings. After the end of World War II, the U.S. Navy demolished many of the buildings they built during war, and the U.S. Army slowly withdrew from Camp Hero. The Air Force moved into Camp Hero in the 1950s, and they set up a radar station, where the old Army camp acted as a self-contained community, where the Air Force had built barracks, a gym, recreation hall, a mess hall, a bowling alley, a shop known as the commissary, offices, telephone exchanges, and it even had its own fire station. This photo shows the old gym, which is one of the few surviving buildings at this old radar station. The Air Force installed a number of different radars at Montauk during the 1960s, such as the AN/CPS-5 and AN/TPS-10A height finder radars. A year later AN/FPS-3 and AN/FPS-5 radars were being used. Between 1955 and 1956 an AN/FPS-8/GPS-3 made an appearance at the tip of the site. In the spring of 1957, Montauk Air Force Station received one of the first AN/FPS-20 units along with a pair of AN/FPS-6 height finder radars. The large SAGE surveillance radar installed at Montauk in 1960 would interfere with TV pictures on Long Island, so the radar wasn't made fully operational until 1962, and this radar was capable of tracking multiple objects up to 200 miles, 321.8 kilometers, away. This is an old photograph of Montauk AFS, which dates back to 1977, shows of the AN/FPS-26 frequency diversity height finding radars, which was concealed inside an inflatable radome. This tower was originally painted red, but over the years, the weathering made the paint fade, and it turned to a shade of pink. And this tower was used as a navigation aid by fishermen sailing from Montauk Harbor. I discovered a report written by an Air Force technician who worked at similar radar system at another radar station, and when you entered this building, you would walk into an airlock as the interior was pressurized to prevent the inflatable dome from collapsing. And when this type of radar was in use, personnel were prevented from entering, as the energy emitted by this type of radar could cause serious injuries. as the AN/FPS-26 radar had a frequency range of 2.7 GHz to 2.9 GHz, which puts it into the microwave band, and it was capable of cooking people alive, as this is similar to the same frequencies used in microwave ovens. The Air Force's 503D Aircraft Control and Warning Group took over the old Army base at Montauk, and this group was disbanded in 1951. Then the 773D Aircraft Control and Warning Squadron took over control of this radar station in 1948, and the site became operational as a radar station in 1951. This group was later redesignated the 773D Radar Squadron, SAGE, on October 1, 1958. This group was officially inactivated on the March 31, 1981.